Welcome back, everyone. Some big changes could make it easier for some homeowners to negotiate a lower mortgage before they fall behind. Attorney Jonathan Smith, founder of Advantage Legal Group, is here to bring us up to date on how this could help in the mortgage mediation process. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate you being here. And talk a little bit, we know that Advantage Legal Group, you really have a mission to help homeowners with mortgage mediation through the Washington State's Foreclosure Fairness Act.
Right. That is the primary methodology we use to help people get their mortgages modified. Is that the problem with that is that you have to be in foreclosure to enter into the program. We also help people with modifications where appropriate, using bankruptcy or the traditional modification process. But in those cases, as everybody knows, you have to be behind, or they won't do them. Well, that's changing.
Right, because a lot of people might know that they're going to fall behind, but they don't want to be in that situation. But in the past, they couldn't do anything about it.
Right. So if you've had a hardship and you know that you're in trouble and you're struggling to make ends meet, you can now apply before you fall behind. Whereas before they always wanted you to be behind. Now you don't have to. But this only affects the GSE, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loans.
Okay.
So even if you're making your payment to Bank of America or Ocwen or Nation Star, it's who actually owns the loan underneath that is important.
Okay.
And if that is Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, which like half the loans in the country are owned by them, then you are eligible if you have one of the appropriate hardships.
And what are those? Because it's very specific.
Yeah, I think we have a graphic perhaps on that.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
These are the changes.
Now, this is big. If there's been a death of a borrower or co-borrower, long-term permanent illness or disability, that's as to one of the co-borrowers or borrower or even a family member.
Okay.
Divorce or legal separation. So if you've been divorced and you've been awarded the home and you're struggling to make those payments and your former spouse is not contributing, previously if you tried to do a modification, they said no because you weren't behind. Now you don't have to be.
Yeah, that seems like it doesn't even make sense that you would want to protect people before they get behind.
It didn't make sense. And technically there was, you know, if you were in imminent danger of foreclosure, they were supposed to allow you to. But the reality was that they wouldn't. But they've expanded these rules now. This is rule changes promulgated that affect all Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loans, the GSE. Now this does tend to eventually go to the non-GSEs. So if you have a non-GSE loan, that will eventually come under the same. It tends to happen eventually, but it isn't yet. But we can definitely work this on a GSE loan. This is also true, and I think we have another graphic, for people who have had a rate adjustment in the last year. So let's say you got a modification 5 years ago and now it's adjusted up because we're at the 5-year mark. Well, now you can do another one. And you don't have to fall behind. You can do it while you're still current.
You do still have to fit into one of those categories, though, correct?
Right, but they're pretty broad. They're a lot broader than they used to be. I mean, it was very restrictive. And if you ever called these people and said, you know, my spouse has passed away, you know, they don't know the difference between probate and probation. You know, and they were just no help. And so I'm fairly confident that, you know, we're going to have to be involved in this to force these issues, because they're not going to volunteer. So far, they have not traditionally volunteered very often to get these things done. People are still getting they should have gotten modifications and they're denied routinely.
And that seems like one of the parts of the process is you have to know that there's a lot that goes into it to get that modification. It's not enough to just say, I got divorced or I've had a loss of a job or something. There's a lot more steps to this process than just that. But even
for us, we used to say, you know, if you're not behind, there's not, you know, it's really, really difficult to do anything for you, and kind of discouraged it. But now it's changed.
Right. And so how can people reach you, and what advice and help can you offer them?
Well, we, of course, offer free initial consultations. So anybody that thinks they might, the answer has finally arrived, they can call our office. Our 800 number toll-free is 877-MEDIATION. Or the direct line is 425-452-9797. Or, of course, go online at AdvantageLegalGroup.com and check out our website.
And can they also connect with you on the radio? What's that all about?
Yeah, I've got a new show on Cairo Radio, Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. So that's Cairo FM 97.3. Now, we're preempted this week for the Sounders, but next week we'll be on, and we'll be talking a lot about this topic. Who qualifies, who doesn't, how do we go forward with this and get you that modification?
It sounds like it impacts a lot of people, potentially.
It really expands things dramatically. So it's very exciting for people who have been struggling, thought they missed their window, have never fallen behind, or still stuck in that 6.5% mortgage.
Right.
Wish they could get out of this thing because everybody else has got a 4% and the 3%, and they think they missed the boat, they can't refi. Well, now we have another shot at it.
And a lot of people might not even know that that was an option for them.
Right.
So this is great information for them.
It is.
What other services do you guys offer?
Well, we also do bankruptcy, personal injury, and of course the mortgage mediation was our mainstay for the longest time, but we're expanding that now.
Right.
So.
Well, that's great. We're glad to have you as a resource. Thanks for coming in and telling us about that. It's complicated, but it's important that people know about this because it really does impact so many out there.
Your bank probably isn't going to tell you about this either.
Yeah, interesting.
No, they'll only tell you your only choices are deed in lieu, foreclosure, or short sale. That's it. And they're still singing the same tune.
Yeah.
But things have changed. They just won't admit it.
So you can get out in front of it before you get behind.
Don't have to be behind.
That's terrific. All right. Thanks for being here today. Good information. Visit our website for more information about Advantage Legal Group. And again, join Jonathan on Saturday evenings at 8 for his call-in show, Legal Advantage on 97.3 Cairo FM. We'll be right back.